Hello, happy Monday. How's it going? Come on in, come on in. Um, I have a few minutes between work and lunch. I'm still homeschooling. We're at the home stretch. And I just wrapped up a strategy session with the client. Okay, so I wanted to share um, a few things with you. But come on in. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day. Listen, I just wrapped up a strategy session, and I love doing these one-on-ones because, of course, some things are applicable just in a general sense, but I really enjoy doing the one-on-one strategizing, right? Because no one really likes that cookie cutter approach. Hi Tia, good morning. So this particular client, she's freaking awesome, but she just doesn't know it. But that's my job. That's okay. I help you feel comfortable in your abilities. But her particular challenge is that she's a non-traditional student. Okay, and she's making a really big transition in her career. So she's like, Dion, I want to start, writing articles on LinkedIn. I want to start, really creating content, but I'm not sure how because I don't have the experience. Okay, and she was very overwhelmed by just everything in that space, right? LinkedIn can be a bit of a challenge, right? But what we did with her was that we broke down her goals in a very tangible, digestible way. Okay, so one, I had to explain to her, and I hope someone's going to get this little nugget of wisdom. I had to explain to her that you can't go by anyone else's standards or goals, right? So, for instance, if someone tells you, oh, you need 300 LinkedIn connections, where does that arbitrary number come from, right? And why does that make sense for your brand and for your goals? Chuck that out the window, okay? So, it's my job to really simplify what it is you're trying to do and just make it practical. Okay, so the first thing I told her when it comes to thought leadership is I asked her, well, what's going on in the industry? Do you know what people are talking about, what the latest, trends are? She didn't know. Not a problem. So here's how you can establish thought leadership in a very simple way. And so again, these steps for her were weekly because that's what works for her. But in general, you anybody can do this. Okay. So the first thing is that you want to develop a list of however many industry organizations, right, professional organizations, right. So again, she's making the transition into an industry that she has no experience in. So that was her first task. Just identify it, make a list. And she's like, oh, like, what do I have to do with the list? We're not there yet. Just create your list. That was her first week. The second week, she's going to go back and visit these organizations' websites. She's going to go to these websites and note the events, conferences, any publications. I'm just looking at my notes. Any periodicals that they have going on, right? And sign up for their email list, right? You have to know, you have to be in the know. Okay, and even if you're not new to the industry, like everyone should know what the buzz is, right, in your particular field. And so now she's getting the emails, hopefully she'll be able to go to some free events. And she even went so far, and I love it. She's like, but Dion, like, how do I know which ones to join? I'm like, easy. It's just like a relationship, right? No one's telling you to join these organizations. You're simply putting, your ear to the ground to see what people are talking about. The next step is to follow them on social media. In her particular case, I suggested Twitter and LinkedIn, right? Follow them on social media, see what they're talking about, and take notes, right? And the next step or the next part of that is to now see what hashtags they're using. You want to follow hashtags. You can easily do it on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Follow those hashtags. Her question was, well, what if those hashtags are just related to that particular organization? they're not only going to use their customized hashtags, they're going to use industry hashtags. And that's where it kind of splits off. And so by following the industry hashtags, you'll not only know what that organization is posting, but now you'll see what other professionals, other thought leaders in that industry are talking about. You can totally do this, okay? So step one, identify 5. In this case, it was professional organizations, but it can be companies, whatever. You want to visit their website, see what events, conferences, publications are going on, and sign up for their email list, okay? And maybe even attend some of those free events. Got to ear hustle. You want to follow them on social media. That's number 3. And number 4, take note of what they're talking about, including the hashtags. So her next question, great, I've done all this, but how do I know what to create content around? You have an opinion. Even if you don't have any experience in that particular industry, you have an opinion on something. And in her case, she's in school for this. So, pair what you've been learning and do an assessment, right? Why do you agree or disagree with whatever that popular viewpoint is for that industry, right? That's all thought leadership is. You're just agreeing or disagreeing and giving your opinion. That's all. Okay, so again, you can definitely break down any big task in a way that suits your schedule, your needs, your lifestyle, whatever that looks like for you, okay? But my goal is to help you get movement, okay? Because if you don't start creating content, no one's going to know that you know what you're talking about. And if they don't know that you know what you're talking about, they're not going to hire you and they're not going to buy from you, okay? So I hope you guys found these tips helpful. I'm going to hop off now and fix lunch for the kid. Still doing virtual school, but I hope this video was very helpful for you, and feel free to schedule a call with me, okay? I do strategy sessions not only for corporate climbers, but also for entrepreneurs. So if you're trying to figure out what your content pillars should be, right? There's a core group of content that you should be able to speak about, write about at the drop of a dime, right? If you struggle with identifying what these are, I want you to schedule a call so we can get you that visibility and credibility that you deserve, okay? Talk to you soon.